What's good, y'all? Rich Sosa back in the building with another banger, man. So first things first, before we get started, I just gotta go ahead and say thank you, God, for giving me this opportunity. Thank y'all, the Rich Gang family. And man, y'all already know what y'all need to do. Be sure to hit that sub button if you're new. Now, go ahead and turn on post notifications, hit that like button, and be sure to drop a comment down below when done. I got the top 3 most toxic, best, rare, two-way lockdown defender builds on NBA 2K22 current gen. The first one that I got coming up for y'all today is going to be called the two-way pass first point, and there's something special about this lockdown. You're going to be able to get contact dunks, so continue to follow along with whatever I do when it comes down to the pie charts. As for the physical, when you can see, the pie charts are very different. When it comes down to the very first one, the speed is looking good, but if you go with the fourth one, you get a much higher vertical. Now, when it comes down to this build, just be sure that when you come down to the stats, follow along, because if you switch any minor thing, I'm telling you, the build is subjected to change the name. That's something that I don't want for y'all. So as you can see, we're going to go ahead and upgrade the finishing, pretty much everything on the close shot, driving layup, and of course, the driving dunk. Go to a 31 just so you can get 9 finishing badges. But when it comes down to the shooting, right here, you're going to be able to pretty much hit at ease. So as you can see, I have 8 shooting badges, maxed out the 3-pointer and the midi. Then when it comes down to the playmaking, we get a good amount of badges right here, 20 in total. Max out that ball handle with an 85 pass accuracy. Then when it comes down to the defensive end, things are going to get even better. So look, you're going to be able to max out that perimeter defense, lateral quickness, steal. Go ahead and put the block to a 50 with a 72 defensive rebound, and you're going to be able to get 20 defensive badges. Now, as for the body shape, it all comes down to what you want to do, but if you want to take up the most space, go with built or burly. Now, let's go ahead and get into the height. As you can see, there are a multitude of different ones that you can go with, but for the one to make this build the very best, you want to go ahead and put it to 6'7". Still going to be able to dribble pretty good as well. As for the weight, go to 191. Physicals are still pretty on point, and especially that we get that high vertical, we're going to be able to be 6'7", getting the contact dunks, which is going to make this build even better. Now, as you can see, the wingspan you want to go with is 89.0. Anything else other than this, you will not be able to get the contact dunks. But honestly, once you hit 99 overall on this build, you'll be able to get pro dribble moves as well as the contact dunks. So that is 2 for 1. And this build is honestly really good on the defensive end. As you can see, you get the lockdown takeover, playmaking, and slashing. It comes down to what you want to do, but I'm going to go ahead and pick the lockdown just to make this build legit. And as y'all can see, the two-way pass first point. I love the comparisons of LaMelo Ball as well as Lonzo. Then when it comes down to the next build, I'm telling you, very special build. Now, a lot of people probably wouldn't think of this build to be of a lockdown or a two-way, but this is probably the rarest build in NBA 2K22 history, y'all. Now, you know we have the prospect, but the build today is going to be called the Ball Hawk. Now, with this one, I'm telling you, really special build, especially when it comes down to the name. This is honestly the most rare build you will ever see. So if you are still watching, go ahead and let me know, what did y'all think of the first build that I dropped for y'all? If you want to go ahead and make that, let me know that too. Honestly, that is a fire build for any type of game mode. Now, let's go ahead and get into the making of this one first. You want to go ahead and put it under the point guard position. Then when it comes down to the pie chart, now honestly, when it comes down to it, I feel like the pie chart is very unsuspected. For this build name, you're going to go ahead and pick the red and green, but the thing is, you're going to pick the pie chart with a little bit more red. So when it comes down to the physicals, you have 2 options, the first one or the fourth one. I'm going to go with the first one just for the speed on only this specific build. Normally, I would go with the fourth one, but let's go ahead and get started. As you can see with the shooting looking pretty good right now, you're going to go ahead and max out the midi, 3-pointer, and the free throw. Then with the post fade, go ahead and put that to a 52. 15 shooting badges. Then you max out that pass accuracy as well as the ball handle. Then go ahead and put the post control to a 44. 9 badges there. And then when it comes down to the defensive end, looking really solid, but you have to maintain that perimeter defense at a 74. If you go anything higher, the build name will change. But with 20 defensive badges, then you get a 94 steal, 87 lateral quickness, also a 70 rebound. Then you put the rest of the stats into your finishing. As you can see, a 69 driving dunk. Then with the driving layup, that's pretty solid as well. Now let's go ahead and get into the actual physicals. Body shape that I'm going to go with for this build is going to be burly. I really want to take up the most space. Now the thing with this build, when it comes down to the height, you actually have to go with 6'2". But when it comes down to it, when it's all said and done, maxed out, go with the weight of 170. Then from here, when it comes down to the wingspan, go ahead and put this to exactly 74.9. And at 98 overall, you're going to be able to get the park dunks, y'all. I'm telling you, you're going to be able to shoot really well. And at 99 overall, you do get pro dribble moves. Now, I'm telling you, when it comes down to the takeovers, this really comes down to your preference. The lockdown, the sharpshooting, shot creating, as well as the playmaking. All of these are solid, but I'm going to go ahead and pick the lockdown to complete this build name. And as y'all can see, we have made the ball hawk. And I'm telling you, the build is only going to continue to get better as you upgrade it if you decide to make this build. Now, when it comes down to the very last one, last but not least, I should say, as you can see, the next one that I do got coming up is going to be something special that I did not think that I would put into this video. I had to bring it to y'all because for me, I would have to say this is probably one of the coolest and rare lockdown builds you will ever see when it comes down to current gen. So, I'm not even going to tell y'all the name just yet, but once it comes down to it, I'm telling you, you're going to enjoy the build as we go along. So when it comes down to this one, just be sure that y'all follow along. If you are still watching, go ahead and sit back, relax, but be sure to hit that like button, y'all. Let's go ahead and get started. So with this one, we are going to be going big. Power forward position, and I'm telling you, this build comes out to a defender name. I'm not going to tell y'all what the name says in the beginning. The only thing that I will tell you though, it'll be worth the wait, and you're going to be able to get contact dunks, and the build is going to be made out of the pie chart split right down the middle, green and blue, the sharp shooting with the posterizing finishing. So when it comes down to the physicals, go ahead and pick the one with the 66 speed, 63 acceleration, 75 strength with a 54 vertical. Now what you want to go ahead and do is follow along on the finishing. Go with an 87 close shot, 75 driving dunk, 88 post hook, and you're going to be able to get 16 finishing badges. Now for the midi, go with the 74, 69 3-pointer, 87 post fade, another 16 badges. As for the playmaking, max out the ball handle and then go with the post control of 76. That's 10 badges there. And now let's go crazy with the defense. Max out that interior defense. When it comes down to the perimeter defense, put this to a 58. Then when it comes down to the lateral quickness, same thing, 63 steal, 73 block, and then you have a 72 defensive rebound. This build has 7 badges, but I'm telling you, the build name, since y'all waited this far, is going to be called the multi-position defender. Now, I'm telling you, very special build, especially with what it can do on the offensive end. This is probably the best lockdown build that's going to be getting a crazy amount of offensive badges as well as abilities. So go with the 6'7" height. When it comes down to the weight, go ahead and max this out to 275 or 274. Comes down to your preference, really. Now when it comes down to the wingspan, this is what is really going to complete this build. So as you can see, if you go ahead and put this to 89.0, you're going to be able to unlock the contact dunks at 99 overall. Then we're going to go with the post scoring or sharpshooting takeover, and as y'all can see, we have made the multi-position defender name, but you can go with multiple wingspans as well. It just comes down to what you want to do. But if you are still watching, man, y'all already know what y'all need to do. Be sure to hit that sub button if you're new. God bless y'all. I hope you are having a great day. And just a word of advice that I gotta give y'all: if you have a goal, go out and reach it today. Don't wait for it. Go ahead and grab it. I'm telling you, God is gonna be in your favor, so I promise you. With all that being said, I would appreciate it if y'all just had a great day. Go ahead and sit back and relax. Now from here, I'm going to go ahead and say one last thing. With all that being said, thank God and Rich out.